Hello everyone, welcome back to Bits and Bob's Divination. My name is Caitlin, and today we're going to be reading into the blessings that you have coming in for your August. So let's go ahead and get started. Alright, so welcome back to those of you who have joined me on the channel before. I love having you guys come in and talk to me about these different readings, and we can have this little chit chat and fun little conversation here in this community that's growing. By the way, we've almost hit 80 subscribers, so thank you all of you who have been joining this community. It's so lovely and wonderful to hear and to see, and some of you have even been interacting with each other, so that's so lovely to see. So thank you so much for joining and coming back to see this video. And to those of you who are new and just decided to join in with this video, it's so lovely to see you. I hope you enjoyed this reading. It's going to be a lot of fun. We have some fun little piles going on here, but just so you know, I do monthly readings at the beginning of each month, as well as weekly readings every single Monday. We also do some fun magical creative content here on the side as well, so those will be scattered in and about as well. So if you're interested in any of that, feel free to subscribe and join this community. It would mean a lot to me, and I'd love to have you guys here as well. So, before I talk any more on any of that, let's go ahead and look at your piles. Alright, so I decided to go with sort of a fabric and crystal theme. So let's look at pile 1 here. I decided to choose a little fox fabric here. These are all scraps from different creative projects I have worked on in the past. So there's a little fox with different numbers here. The numbers are 1 through 8 if that matters for you, as well as a piece of orange aventurine. So that is pile 1. For pile 2 here, we have more of a Islamic sort of tile work pattern here. So if you're interested in that, you also have pyrite here. So if this is resonating with you, then this might be the pile for you. And lastly, we have here a bit of OBV fabric. It's a type of velour. It's organic bamboo velour, and it's sort of been dyed with this really cool galaxy, I'm hoping it shows up, this really pretty galaxy sort of color scheme, as well as a bit of opalite here. So if this is resonating with you, then this might be the pile for you. So I'll set that down right there. So as always, let's go ahead and take a deep breath together so you can make a better decision and sort of bond with each of the piles and figure out which pile is for you. And as always, there's no right or wrong way to do this. You can choose all 3 piles, 1 of the piles, 2 of the piles. You can choose based off of the colors, based off of the fabric, based off of just the way the piles look or your intuitive sense. I definitely encourage you to use your intuition here to choose which piles for you. And if you find that you go to a certain pile and it's not resonating with you, it doesn't make sense, or that just doesn't feel right, then feel free to click to a different timestamp or try a different pile to figure out which one is for you. The timestamps will be down in the description as well as in the actual video itself with the chapter marks. So feel free to choose which one you need and which one you've decided to choose, and I'll see you at your pile. So let's go ahead and get started with pile 1. Hello group 1, if you've decided to choose this piece of fabric with the little fox and the piece of orange aventurine here, then this is the pile for you. I'll put your little fox friend right here for you. We're going to be using the charms, the watercolor affirmations, as well as the Language of Flowers and Secret Garden oracle decks, and today's tarot deck we are going to be using the Everyday Tarot. So let's go ahead and get started with yours. I hope you guys had a wonderful month last month, and that the month treated you well. Here in August, let's see what blessings you have coming in. And let me know down in the comments below if you guys are interested in blessing videos for each month, or if you're more interested in a specific type of reading for the month. such as like predictions videos. Like last month I did a predictions. So just let me know. Basically, we're going to be asking the cards here to let us know what you guys as group 1 need to know about August, and what blessings are coming in. What are things that are coming in that are blessings? And I always like to stress that blessings don't necessarily mean good. They can just mean that they are lessons that we need that lead to good, lead to better, higher versions of ourselves, our higher self coming through, basically. So what do we need to know about August for group 1? What energies, insights, or guidance do we have coming in for group 1's August? August for group 1, the August month for group 1. Any blessings that are coming in, any life lessons needed for August for group 1. Group 1. What do we need to know for group 1? Okay, this top one was calling to me. So you have the Empress here. She is wonderful energy to have, very feminine energy. So let's see what else you have. So group 1, we're looking for the energy, insights, or guidance coming in, and blessings that are coming in the form of life lessons for group 1. Okay, so we had this. So I'm going to take the top card here. And you had the 7 of Pentacles. All right, we're looking for the last message here for group 1's August reading here. So group 1, we're looking for group 1's August. Okay. You also have the Queen of Pentacles. Oh, so you guys are definitely nurturing something. You're growing something, harvesting even, which is very on point for August in general, with harvest coming in, the first harvest coming in with August. So that's really interesting energy to be already getting for you, group 1. So let's see what the language of flowers has to say. So group 1's blessings. Okay, so that one went pretty quick. Here you have orange blossom, enthusiasm. The best can be here. Believe it. So it has a lot to do with believing in yourself and having that confidence to bring forth, what you're wanting to manifest. And having the enthusiasm there really helps. So let's see what else you have with your Secret Garden message. Group 1, we're looking for the energy, insights, and mostly blessings that are coming in for group 1's August reading. So what do we need to know about August for group 1? Okay, so here you have retreat. Never underestimate the healing power of a quiet moment. And then you have here a little door, right? So you're retreating, you're getting your own space and your own time. That's super important. That's a great blessing to have a little bit of time to yourself this month. And lastly, we have your message from the Watercolor Oracle. So what do we need to know? What affirmation do we need to know for August, for group 1, group 1's month, the month of August? All right, so you have 2 here that were up. So I'm going to put those ones back in. Here you have laughter is the best medicine, which is so true. If you ever are having a bad day or just need that time out with the retreat, laughter is going to be great for you. So there's a lot of positive energy here. And then here you have use your voice. And I did actually spell voice wrong when I wrote this, and I thought about just restarting and doing a new one. But I think what's interesting is sometimes we can use our voice for good, but it can be lost in translation, or things can get a little bit misunderstood or miscommunicated. So I think it's important to use your voice, but use your voice clearly. So that's a message for you. All right, so first off, wow, the blessings that are coming in for your month are so positive. You guys aren't going through life lessons. There's not big things attacking you or changing your mind, or you're not having these big transformations. I'm not seeing any of that. Honestly, I'm just seeing like growth and harvest and fertility of ideas and things that you've been building or working on or growing. A lot of that is happening, and I'm so excited for you guys, because here you have the Empress, and the Empress is the like ultimate feminine energy. If you work with a god or goddess or anything like that, this is like the goddess energy. This is the motherly energy. This is that divine feminine energy, right? So you guys could be literally growing something, you're working towards something that you've been really growing and fertilizing and working really hard towards, and carrying, sometimes the burden of our ideas is you have to carry them, or you have to, hold on to them. But this can also represent actual pregnancy. So if you're looking to be pregnant, or if you're looking for something like that, then that could be a thing. And if you are currently pregnant, then this could be blessings coming in the forms of anything to do with pregnancy, really. It's just good blessings on that side. Because here you have also the Queen of Pentacles, which is personally my favorite queen in all of tarot, because in tarot, the Queen of Pentacles is all about nurturing, being very kind, letting things grow in the time that they need to, and it's much slower energy. You don't feel like you have to get everything done immediately and fast. This is slower paced energy. There is the little bunny down there, so it can be a little bit faster paced, but it's usually the bunny has more to do with like springtime energy, so again, more fertility. The Queen of Pentacles is also about abundance. So your blessings are going to be coming in an abundant rate. So if you're looking for a little bit of extra money, a little bit of extra, anything on a financial sense, anything on a business sense, that's going to be coming in as blessings in the form of abundance, prosperity. That's coming in for you. Because you've been working and nurturing on these ideas, now you're able to let some of that come forth in the form of abundance, and more of that is coming again because you have here the Seven of Pentacles, and the Seven of Pentacles is like you're not entirely ready to harvest. Where the Nine of Pentacles, you are harvesting. The Seven of Pentacles is like the nesting stage. It's where you're getting everything ready to go, you're gathering all of your materials, and you're waiting for things to come in the time that they need to. Because the Seven of Pentacles has this sense of like, you're really, really excited for something to be growing, and you're enthusiastic about that, like we were already seeing here with the orange blossom. But what you're growing has not finished yet. It's still baking, it's still working, it's still in the oven in terms of pregnancy. That could be a possible thing for you. But also just the Seven of Pentacles is just showing me that you are needing that retreat time, right? Like sometimes we can be so focused on our goals for business sense, or also in just a family sense, because I'm seeing family in here, a lot of family vibes with the pregnancy. But if it's a more financial or business sense that you're sensing, you may be enthusiastic about it, but the Seven of Pentacles is sort of stating like, let it grow in the time that it needs to, because sometimes we can nurture and kind of helicopter mom. That's what I always think the Seven of Pentacles kind of reminds me of. It's like the helicopter mom of cards. So you might just be like overwatering or overlooking, or just, putting all of your time and energy and thoughts into some sort of project that you are working on, some sort of business or financial project, that you're not able to retreat. You're not able to take that time that you need. So you have retreat here, and the Seven of Pentacles is sort of urging you to take that retreat, that's going to be something of a blessing for you, something that you should welcome. So never underestimate the healing power of a quiet moment. It's already showcasing, even with the never underestimate, just the way that that's worded is just showcasing to me that maybe you're not wanting to retreat, maybe you're not wanting that time for yourself, maybe you're wanting to work, you're trying to get things done, you're trying to be the busiest bee possible, and you have to put your feet up every once in a while. You have to give that time to yourself. You have to give, even if it's just 5 minutes, you're going to need that retreat to continue to work on your goals, because if we're working all the time, you're going to burn out, you're going to lose your mind in a way, you're going to get that like that overproductive sense where you burn out at the end of the month. So the blessings are coming in. Let them come in the time that they need to, let them fertilize and work on their own in their own way. And the abundance and prosperity will come in when they're ready. So you just have to wait it out. You also have here, use your voice. So again, make sure that the way that you're communicating is well thought out and well spoken, which is really important. You don't have any sword cards here or any air, so I don't really feel like you have a lot to do with communication here, so I'd be interested to know more with your charms here in a minute. But the last little thing you have here is laughter is the best medicine. So when you are retreating, a great way to do that is to watch a comedy, hang out with friends in a safe manner, whatever you can do to have some of that laughter come in. Watch those videos that make you giggle, whatever that is for you. Enjoy those small moments too. That's what I also think of with laughter, because laughter can sometimes get overlooked, but it's so powerful to keep our spirits high. So use your voice. Maybe even using your voice to bring laughter to others could be really helpful too. But I also think of use your voice almost in a sense of like making sure you have your boundaries for the month, especially with retreat. So if you feel like you almost have to use your voice against yourself, I feel like, to create those boundaries that you need, taking the time out that you need, giving you that chunk of 5 minutes, 15 minutes a day to just chill out. And if that means you have to voice that out to others around you, to a boss, to yourself, to those within your family, and just saying like, hey, I need these 15 minutes of sanity, please let me have them. Just using your voice could be really helpful. Just make sure that you're coming across clear in the way that you do. So I've already talked on these cards quite a lot. Let's go ahead and move on to your charms, because I'd be interested to know what you guys get. And just, I'd love to know also in the comments, just like, what is it that you guys are working towards? Is it actual, are you pregnant right now, working to be pregnant, or anything like that, if you feel comfortable speaking about it? And then just in general, like, what is it that you guys are harvesting? I'd love to know down in the comments, because I'd love to see how these are resonating, what little things are speaking to each of you. So let's move on to your charms. So let's do this. Group one. We're looking for Group 1's month. The August month for Group 1. Group 1. Blessings. The blessings coming in for Group 1. Okay, so a couple of them fell off the board. I went ahead and put those away, but let's go ahead and sort what you have here. So you have a couple that fell in the center. I pick up the ones that are upside down, but you did actually have this one just flip over as I was moving it, so I just feel like that's relevant. So let's see here. Surprisingly, I thought you were going to have a bunch of stuff on harvest, or on the things that you've been growing and working and nurturing, but it's kind of got a different narrative here. So let's go ahead and move you guys in just a smidge here so you can see what you have just a little bit clearer. So here in the center, you have 1776 with the bell, and it's cracked, that whole kind of thing with the Liberty Bell and stuff, but you also, it's the History Channel sort of charm. So I think if this is like something that's within your history, something deep in your history that's coming up in a form of a blessing for you, possibly related to intuition, or possibly related to a past or present relationship regarding financial things. So this I always think of as a string of pearls. Sometimes I can think of it as people like buying your love or superficial love. So make sure that you're being, if you have those superficial relationships in your life, or those even relationships to superficial or materialistic things within our lives. There might just be a change in that, the way that you look at that. I do see maybe even a change of perspective in terms of like you're looking at something in your past and being like, maybe I shouldn't have bought that, or maybe I should spend my money elsewhere, or looking at it in a different way. I think you're just going to have a different perspective on the money and abundance coming in. Since you have all of this new abundance coming in, I think you're just going to use it in a different way, or use it towards someone else, or in a different way towards yourself, maybe in ways that are more retreatful or have more to do with things that you're actually truly enthusiastic about. Because sometimes we can try to keep up with the Joneses, and I think it's you knowing that you're number one right now. Like this flipped over, and I honestly immediately thought like this is about you this month, or you're finding your number one, right? Your number one priority. You're sorting out your priorities when it comes to money and abundance and prosperity. So definitely different than the cards were immediately striking to me, but there is just like a change of perspective in money, the change of perspective in maybe what companies you're backing, or who you're spending your money through, who you're giving your money to, and just in general how you're spending your money could be different. And I see, since it's a heart, I feel like you're spending your money towards things you actually truly want and love, and maybe even are waiting out to spend something on something really big. You're taking that time, that slower, nurturing energy that I was talking about earlier. It's slower energy versus just buying like the first great, amazing thing that you wanted. There also is a sense of heightened intuition this month, because here you have two charms sort of showcasing an amethyst look, that purple look. And what's interesting is the Empress sort of has that feminine divine energy that sort of showcases your intuition. So I do see you kind of getting closer to that feminine intuition, that little spark inside our bellies that are like, hey, maybe we shouldn't do this, maybe we should. So you're using your intuitive voice a lot more this month. You also have something in which you are creating, you're kind of creative, or you're using your creative mindset this month in some way. So this could be just in general, you're creating something using a new creative outlet, maybe working towards a hobby. It could be related to actual puzzle making, but it can also be just like a more logical skill. So maybe you're using a new hobby or a new way of approaching your situation. Maybe even the thing that you're retreating with could be an artistic one. It could be something that you really found love in, and that you're maybe putting your mind and body and soul towards, that has something to do with creating logically. So I think of like, a lot of people think of painting or drawing, the obvious sorts of things, but I think you're going to be doing a more logical skill. So like for me, that's knitting, because knitting, you have to count all of the things. There's a lot of math involved. So I think you're going to be working on something, maybe even a project like a DIY project that a lot of math is involved in, but it has a creative element to it. There also is just a sense of like love. Nothing specific, nothing that really needs to be addressed, but you have the roses here and then the silver heart. And I think of this as like someone who's really honest and truthful about the love that they have for you. It's been polished, it's clean, it's honest, and it's truthful. So there is a lot of honesty and truth coming in with some sort of romantic or platonic relationship, but I'm sensing more of a romantic one. And you also have here all of the red roses. So maybe someone's wooing you this month, or they're just, they're on your mind, or love is on your mind, or there's a new love in your life. You also have here near the full moon, which is all about things coming into more clear senses, or also a lot of our emotions can come out during the full moon. But around there, heading towards the waning moon, you're going to be kind of reflecting on the things that are stable in your life, because the 4 is stability, and then you have clarity, the clear clarity charm, and again, more of those pearls. So I think you're going to find stability in your prosperity and your in your love life, something like that. Both are going to kind of align to create that sense of security that you get and stability that you get with the 4. So maybe look around the full moon, see if there's any stability or clarity that comes in with this full moon this month. A blessing might be there. You also have here the Ace of Pentacles, which represents, like, I think of this, the Ace of Pentacles as being like, the Ace of Cups, not Pentacles. The Ace of Cups as being like a overfilling of your cup. Like, can your cups represent your emotions? So if you think of the Ace of Pentacles as a cup that overflows, it just means that a lot of positivity, positive emotions like joy, happiness, excitement, enthusiasm, especially since you had the enthusiasm card. I just think that there's going to be a lot of lovely, wonderful emotions coming in for you that might overwhelm you but in a good way. Like, when you get those tears of joy or tears of happiness, you know that they are good, but it can be overwhelming, but they are ultimately good and a blessing that's coming in, possibly after the full moon here for you heading towards the last quarter moon. Again, more money, more creativity. So something that you might be harvesting might come from the retreat, that you might be getting something new that comes literally, even when you're retreating, I feel like you're still going to be finding ways to create a prosperous life for yourself, because here you have creativity, and we already talked about the creative stuff, of charms and everything down here in that little, why can't I say words, in this little corner of the board here. But you also have the dime, which I always think of as just like a little bit more money than a penny. So you're going to be getting a little bit more cash there. You also have the directional charm. So you're finding a new direction. You're heading in a new path. But I also think of this as, since it's a arrow, it's sort of like you've also it's something you have to create the direction in which you want to go in. So using your intuition, you're going to be creating a new direction for yourself. Again, maybe pointing towards that creativity and towards that new direction around your ideas on money, which I feel like is very specific, because I can't tell you specifically what you're changing your mind on about money and prosperity, but I think just in general, finances, business, those things that that we sometimes can take for granted or have a specific direction in which we're always going. New opportunities might be coming in. You might be creating new directions for yourself. And in turn, the money and prosperity and abundance that are coming in because of that, you now get to spend in a different way because you're using a new perspective. And lastly here, you have the insecurity charm connected. You have a whole little clump here, honestly, connected. So there's a little bit of this. I always think of it as something that's kind of gotten tangled or webbed together, which I think is interesting, since you literally have all of this sort of stuck together. But here we have the spring, which has more to do with going in a new direction, but you're being sprung forward. So this isn't something you're deciding. It's more that this energy is just coming in, where you're getting sprung forward or moved in a new direction more suddenly. But it is going to be a silver lining, so because you have the silver lining charm. So this is going to be something where you might feel insecure about it because you have the insecure charm. But in the end, ultimately, it's going to be a blessing for you. So if you feel like something's going to come a little bit out of nowhere, take that opportunity, or think of it as a blessing or a silver lining coming in for you. Who knows, it might even lead to the prosperity that you've been sort of looking for or gaining this month. So with all of that said, I'm going to go ahead and recap here for you. Group 1, you guys had an interesting group, because at the beginning, there was definitely a sense of like major prosperity, major movement towards financial goals, and something that you've been sort of brewing up here, possibly pregnancy, like actual literal pregnancy, but it can also just be a more intuitive sense on where you're going to be going business-wise, or that you're nurturing something. So that's all coming in. But you also have here enthusiasm, so it's something you're very enthusiastic about, but sometimes need to take that retreat. Never underestimate the healing power of a quiet moment. So there is a sense of maybe creating those boundaries, using your voice, creating boundaries that you need. And then that laughter is going to be the best medicine for you. So that's a little affirmation in general. So that's sort of what we were getting from the cards, but you also have more of that intuitive sense, new directions being sprung forward on you that are going to bring forth possibly prosperity, or just in general, there's a silver lining to that insecure moment of moving forward towards something that at first maybe seemed rocky, or like, what am I doing? Where are we going? What's this new opportunity? But it's going to be good in the end. You're also going to be changing your mind about something having to do with your finances and how you spend and gain your money. You're also going to possibly have a retreat based on creative sort of logical mathematic creativity. You have more money coming in based off of this new creative sense, something that's going to fill your cup with joy and tears of joy and happiness. There's going to be a bit of wooing happening here for a romantic relationship of some sort, and if not a platonic one, that you just feel really connected with someone, a new love in your life possibly. And then lastly here, you're having around the full moon some clarity about stability and safety in your life. So with all of that said, I hope you guys enjoyed this reading. I really, really do. Please let me know in the comments down below what you think of each of these cards or the different charms, or if there's something that specifically spoke to you. I'd love to know. I love having that conversation with you guys down in the comments. So don't be shy. I'd love to hear from you. And if you enjoyed this reading, please be sure to give this video a like. It lets me know that not only did you like the video and the reading, but it also lets me know that you enjoy these types of videos and that the reading was really helpful for you. It also helps this channel to grow and to thrive. So I really, truly thank you for doing that. And lastly, if you are new to this channel and you like these types of readings, I do week ahead readings every single Monday. So feel free to subscribe to see those, as well as other fun, magical, creative content that I like to put out here and there. So with all of that said, I'm going to go ahead and leave you guys, and I will see you in the next one. Bye. Hello, Group 2. If you've decided to choose this piece of fabric with these different sort of fun patterns and this piece of pyrite, then this is the pile for you. Set your piece of fabric and stone right here for you. Today we'll be using the charms, the watercolor affirmations, as well as the Secret Garden deck, the Language of Flowers deck, and the Everyday Tarot for your reading today. We're going to be looking into your blessings coming in for August. So let's go ahead and get started before I continue to ramble, because I know Group 1, I rambled so much. So let's go ahead and get started for you, Group 2. All right, let's see what you've got going on, Group 2. So the blessings that are coming in for August for Group 2. Group 2, we're looking for any energy, insights, guidance, as well as blessings or life lessons that are coming in the form of blessings for Group 2 this month of August. So what do we need to know? So I'm feeling, honestly, these two cards here. So here you have the 8 of Wands, so some fast-paced energy, as well as the Wheel of Fortune. So it feels like something is turning in your favor this month. And so let's see what else you have. Group 2, we're looking for the energy, insights, or guidance, as well as blessings that are coming in for Group 2 this month of August. Group 2, okay, this one just fell into my lap. Oh, lovely. And you have the Star, literal guidance coming in. So that's so exciting. Look at these beautiful cards coming in. I'm very excited for you guys already. So let's see what else you have with your Language of Flowers deck here. The blessings coming in for Group 2. Any blessings coming in for August for Group 2. Right, feeling this back card. Here you have breathe, calm, rest, stop, and just be. How lovely is this card? It makes me feel like purity with the lovely white sort of cream tones of the card. So I definitely feel like there's some renewal happening here, especially with the star here. So let's see what else you have with your Secret Garden deck. So group or message, group two, we're looking for group 2's August blessings. The blessings coming in for August for group 2. Any blessings coming in. Okay. Here you have, oh lovely, serenity. Value quiet days with only the rustling leaves breaking the silence. And then you have these little leaves in the wind. So again, more of that wind energy that the wands can, or actually, never mind, not more of the wind energy, because wands aren't really about, I don't know why I was thinking this was the Eight of Swords for a second. So anyway, so less with the wand energy and more so with just in general the leaves breaking the silence, serenity energy. So you have the star and breathe and serenity. Let's see what else you have. Group 2's August blessings. What blessings do you have coming in August? Any affirmations that align with these blessings for group 2? All right, simple and easy, just one here. So here you have even baby steps are steps forward, which is so important. I love this quote. It's one of my favorites because sometimes we get so wrapped in our heads of needing to move forward so quickly, and it's like, yes, I have the resources and the means and all of this stuff, but sometimes we need some time out. Sometimes we need that renewal energy, that time to breathe, right? That serenity. So I think your blessings are coming in with slowing yourself down amidst the chaos of the world going so fast, right? Because you have, at first I was saying that maybe you're going to have really fast energy, but based off of the other cards that have come in, I think what's really important for you with the Wheel of Fortune and the Eight of Wands and the Star all together is that you're going to be renewing yourself. There's going to be renewal in terms of retreat almost. I'm seeing a bit of retreat, which I know that there's not anything specifically that's coming in with retreat. Maybe it's that 8 possibly for me, but with serenity and then breathe, I'm just getting that intuitive sense of some sort of retreat or taking that time for yourself, taking that time out that you need. That renewal, that's more of what I'm coming up with. Less retreat, more renewal. Because the Wheel of Fortune represents just something turning in our favor, right? So sometimes we have really crappy times, and then the wheel is now turning into your favor. So what comes up must go down, and it goes the other way as well. But in this in this case, it is more about you having the wheel turn back towards your favor. It's a positive turn of the wheel, and it's going to happen quickly. It's going to happen fast because you have the Eight of Wands. Wow, why can't I say the correct name for this specific card today? You have the Eight of Wands. So this wheel is turning, which can mean that it'll turn back in your favor, possibly more quickly, but mostly I'm just seeing that the blessings that are coming in from the universe, this usually means not something that you're working towards, something that you're bringing forth. It can be a new opportunity coming in. It can be a new guidance coming in from someone bringing in guidance or bringing in a new opportunity or a new place in which you can go, a new direction. That is coming in. That's all happening. That's changing in the background. It's not something you have to bring forth. It will come forth on its own. So while that energy is coming in, which is really exciting, you get to take that time to breathe, to be calm, to rest, stop and just be, to have that renewal come in, let that guidance come in on its own. And while it does, maybe take rejuvenating baths, take that time for yourself, get a little retreat, some self-care. This is your time to feel yourself like this is good. Feel good in your skin, feel good in your body, feel good in your mind, body, and soul. This is really good mental energy. And with that comes serenity. Value quiet days with only the rustling leaves breaking the silence. So this can also just mean to take meditative moments for yourself. Take those couple of minutes that you need, take that time that you need, go out in nature possibly as well, especially with the leaves. And if you're a very naturey type of person, that could be really healing and lovely for you, because not only do you have the breathe and serenity and that meditative moment, so again, breathing exercises could be really good for you as well and helpful in healing, because the star represents not only guidance from the universe, which we all already talked about with the wheel turning back in your favor, but you also have blessings coming in the terms of just taking that time for yourself and then having that healing come in. So there might be just taking that rest that you need, that time to balance your life, to heal where you need to. And it's not something that you have to do all overnight. It can be deep things that you are healing, things that take a lot of time, and baby steps are encouraged. Take that time that you need. You don't have to do it all fast. Serenity can come at the end of the month when you've done the work, but because healing is work. It doesn't just happen overnight. So you have to have those little baby steps come in to move yourself forward, and the wheel of fortune is going to be turning in your favor in the background. So you don't have to really worry about too much this month. Your blessings are honestly coming in with just taking that time out that you need, working on you first, cleansing and healing yourself, cleansing your space possibly, taking that time to clean your room, to get out in nature. All that kind of stuff is highly encouraged this month by these cards. All right, so with all of that said, let's go ahead and move on to your charms, because there's not much else to say about your cards. It's just really good positive energy just for yourself, some self-care, right? Some time for yourself while everything else is turning in your favor. This is lovely blessings to be getting. It's not like hard stuff that you're going to be going through. This is just a lot of things happening on their own, in their own time. So let's go ahead and see your charms. Group 2, we're looking for the energy, insights, and guidance coming in for Group 2 on August, as well as their blessings. What blessings are coming in for Group 2? So August blessings, Group 2. Okay, so a couple actually fell on the ground, so I'm going to give them a chance and just drop them now, see if they were meant to be on the board. This one did not need to. You have quite a few letters already, so we'll talk about those in a moment, but let's just pick up some of the ones that are upside down here that aren't as prevalent in your reading. So sorry if I'm kind of quiet when I do this. I just I'm looking at all the little charms, seeing and connecting all of the different dots here. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and zoom you in so you can see a little bit more of what's happening on the board here. There is one charm down here, but I will pick it up and just move it forward because it's just a letter anyways. But you have a couple of different letters, so I'm going to pick up a few of them and just show you. So you have the letters of M, Z, D, and V. So M, Z, D, and V. Those are your letters this month. So these could be initials, they could be letters of different workplaces, addresses. Sometimes you won't really know what they mean until the end of the month, but if you already are getting a sense, that's awesome. So I know that the V was over here, so I'm going to keep that one in its place, but the rest of these ones just fell on the outside mostly, so I'm just going to leave them next to each other. All right, so first here in the center, you have, I always think of this, I know mostly you think of logic when you think of puzzle pieces, but I have a couple of different puzzle pieces in my collection for different reasons, and I always feel like, for me, when I was a kid, I always thought of the little bubbles that pop out here in a puzzle piece. I always thought of them as people, and so in this case, I always think of them as different people. And in this case, you're being sort of pushed against a wall or being pressured by someone. So you're getting sort of pushed into a corner, but what's important to know is that you're not getting pushed into a corner where you can't get out. There's always a way out, right? So people might be trying to push their ideas on you or push something that you maybe aren't interested in. So it's important to just keep that in mind. If people are pressuring you this month, you have to keep that level head and know that there's always a way out of that situation, another way to speak about it, a way to communicate about it, to put down your foot, put down your boundaries, make that line, that stake in the ground, especially since you have so much serenity and breathe and this star energy. It's like, if you need this time off, let other people know, put that boundary, put that step down, tell people this is not about them right now. So in social situations, just keep that in mind, that you are first. You come first. And then you also have here I think of this as a note sometimes, but I also, because I used to use these, you can it's a paper star, so you can sort of push it down and then open up the note. But I also think of this as like transformation that you've created through like healing, basically, that I was talking about with the star card, right? So you're sort of healing something, you're rejuvenating yourself, you're cleansing yourself this month, you're starting fresh, you're creating a start again for yourself, because you have an actual star. I didn't even think about that. You have an actual star, so you're guiding yourself towards healing and rejuvenation this month. And to do that, you're going to have to, introspect, look into yourself, because I think of the 7 in general. The number 7 makes me think of introspection, looking into yourself, looking from different perspectives. It also has sort of a creative element for me, but 7 can mean something different for you. Again, like I was talking with the different letters, this could mean something significant to you, a birthday, a date, possible energy left over from July with the 7. It could also be just something significant in transformation and healing, or with this social situation having to do with the 7th of August. You also have here the financial security charm, so there doesn't seem to be a lot of financial issues or financial problems here, because you have the finance safety pin. You also have the sort of universal charm, because I think of these, that it makes me think of like a little mini universe. So it's about more of that turning of the wheel energy, things happening that the universe is bringing forth for you. They may feel fast, they may feel quick, but they are guided with the intention of a blessing coming in, possibly to do with those finances, especially since you have another financial charm up here close to the new moon. Because I think of this as like a little ringing bell, like finances are coming, you're getting some new money, some moolahs coming in. So there is sort of a financial element of having secure finances this month, or money coming in. There is, again, another sense of, because here I always think of this as like the 5 of Wands, and the 5 of Wands is being pressured. Again, more people trying to put you in a certain box, or trying to hold you to a certain degree of perfection, or anything like that, where you feel a little bit pushed or pressured, or peer pressured in some way, and you're sort of defending yourself, because sometimes I can think of this as being defensive, because this little mouse looks very defensive, but I also think it's just you're putting your foot down, you're putting your 2 cents in, you're saying, I'm healing, I'm taking my time out, I'm doing what I need to do, and this is not about you. This month is not about other people putting their 2 cents in, it's just your sense that needs to be read and thought about. You also have an intuitive sense coming in this month, because you have the intuition charm with the amethyst, as well as clarity, so some sort of clarity on your intuition. You also have the sort of cowboy hat sort of here, so I think of this as being adventurous, or trying something new, going out of your comfort zone in some way. So there's sort of that sort of adventure vibe going on, maybe an intuitive sense on a new travel adventure, or just adventurous in a new endeavor that you want to go forth on, and you're finding clarity in your intuition through that. And you also have the Tower charm, but I'm just getting, for me, that this is like your past energy. This is the stuff that you are healing right? So this is like manipulation. I also think of this charm as a manipulation charm because it looks like it's just been mangled and manipulated and put in a corner. So I do see what you are healing or cleansing yourself from. Could be a past relationship. It could be just something that you're trying to create that serenity for yourself, guiding yourself in a new direction. And this is very singular. I don't feel like this has to do with someone else in a relationship anymore. This is about your individual experience, your soul experience. And, this is just your time to create that space of healing for yourself based off of who's trying to put you in these corners, who you're trying to defend yourself against, who you're trying to not be manipulated by, emotionally as well. So I think you're having to close yourself off possibly to someone, because this shell, sometimes when it's turned this way, that means you're open, but this way you're closed. So I think you've closed yourself off to something or someone based off of the healing that you're wanting to bring forth and transform yourself in, on something that used to kind of be sort of black hole-ish, like icky, things that didn't make you feel very good. Because this I think of as like a black hole, ominous, not good energy, basically. So like I was saying, if you feel like this is energy that you've been stuck in for a while, it's time for the universe to turn that back in your favor, to turn you're getting that blessing. Like those things are happening in the background. These people might just be leaving you, you're pushing them out, you're creating those boundaries for yourself so healing and transformation and growth can come in. So with all of that said, I'm going to go ahead and do a recap here for you, group 2. So first off, you have, again, fast energy. The wheel is turning back in your favor. The universe is creating lovely, wonderful, positive opportunities to come for you. These blessings are happening in the background, but they are happening to serve you in a very wonderful purpose. So that's really exciting. And then there's rejuvenation, retreat, healing, serenity, and breathing. That's coming in. So that's all wonderful energy to be having. I'm really excited. I hope that this is that you understand where this healing is needing to come, because I'm not going to say that there isn't work involved with healing, but that the healing is going to be so empowering. I just feel like an empowerment is coming in. You're going to feel good in your skin again. You're going to feel good about the decisions you're having to make. You don't feel as manipulated or as pushed into a corner or having to be defensive about your ideas, just your thoughts and emotions and where those all are. This is your time to shine like a star, to transform and heal and create that self-care that you need, those boundaries that you need. So those are wonderful blessings to be having coming in. Breathing exercises, meditation, getting outside could be really helpful for you, possibly even to do with the moonlight or looking up at the stars in general. In a more literal sense, but you also, it's not something that's going to happen all at once. Like I said, healing takes time, it takes energy, it takes looking at our shadow self, which is not always something we want to do, but can be so helpful, and is a blessing in disguise sometimes. So take the slower path, that's totally okay. There's also a sense of financial security coming in, the universe working in your favor, introspection, the letters V, M, Z, and D, as well as the number 7, a new adventure possibly on the horizon here. And I just see overall a lot of empowerment, retreat, and rejuvenation coming in for you this month. So if you feel like this resonated and you really enjoyed this reading, please be sure to give this video a like. It really does help help my channel to grow and thrive, as well as let me know that you did enjoy this reading, that you enjoyed these types of readings as well. So I'd love to hear from you guys down below in the comments. I love having these little conversations, learning about what this energy is with the star, what's coming in later on into the month, even letting me know little updates, anything like that. I love to have these conversations down in the comments below with each of you. And lastly, if you are new to the channel, I do these sorts of monthly readings at the beginning of each month, as well as weekly readings every single Monday, and some fun, creative, magical content as well scattered throughout. So if you're interested in any of that, feel free to subscribe and join this community growing on this channel. I'd love to have you guys a part of it. and see you guys coming in. So with all of that said, I hope you guys have a wonderful August and that the healing that you need comes in. So thank you so much for watching and supporting this channel. I will see you guys in the next one. Bye! Hello Group 3, if you decided to choose this piece of opalite, as well as this fabric, then this is the pile for you. I'll go ahead and set your fabric and stone here of opalite just down here for you so you can see it during the reading. Today we're going to be using the charms, the watercolor affirmations, as well as the 2 different oracle decks here of the Language of Flowers and the Secret Garden. And today's tarot deck is going to be the Everyday Tarot. So let's go ahead and see what blessings you have coming in for August, any energy, insights, or guidance as well, or life lessons in the form of blessings. So let's see what you have going on Group 3. So the energy, insights, and guidance coming in for Group 3's week ahead, or month ahead. So here we have 2 different ones. You have the High Priestess, so intuitive energy, as well as the King of Swords. So already some intellectual, more studious energy going on here, tied to the High Priestess of the intuitive sense. So let's see what else you have going on Group 3. Group 3, again, I do hope you guys had a wonderful month last month. I forgot to say that before I started this, but I truly do hope you guys had a wonderful month and that these blessings that are coming in can be super helpful for you for August. So let's see what else you have going on for blessings for August. So here you have the 7 of Cups. So there is an intuitive sense of deciding something, a decision possibly being made. So let's see what else you have with the Language of Flowers. So Group 3, we're looking for any blessings coming in for Group 3. You have Absence, Xena. What is not here is the key. So this is just something where you're taking something away, moving something out, possibly cleansing or eliminating something to create a clearer picture for yourself. So let's see what your Secret Garden message is here, Group 3. Group 3, we're looking for any energy, insights, or guidance coming in the form of blessings for August for Group 3. Group 3, Group 3, Group 3. Let's see what you have, Group 3. Any energy, insights, or guidance coming in the form of blessings for you, Group 3. Alright, this deck's a little stubborn today, so let's see what we get. Less stubborn, more like it's thinking, it's just taking its time. So Group 3, any energy, insights, or guidance in the form of blessings for Group 3. There it is. Alright. Ooh, so you have opportunity. There's no use looking for luck. It arrives at unexpected times. And then you also have here the 4-leaf clover. So luck could be on your side, but it's also about, just waiting for that opportunity to come in the form that it needs to. So lastly, let's look at your affirmation, your watercolor affirmation here. So Group 3's watercolor affirmation in the form of a blessing for Group 3. So what do we need to know about Group 3's August blessings? Alright, so you have 3 different ones here that fell. First off, you have embrace your feelings. Sometimes we have a hard time embracing our feelings, especially since you have that High Priestess energy, which is all about your intuitive sense, which can really be tapped into our feelings. And then the fact that you have the King of Swords is just sort of like you're finding a way to logically look at them. You also have find that way to rekindle that fire inside you. So this is more of an inspired energy. I think of this more like the Ace of Wands, having inspired energy to move forward towards something. And then what I think is so funny is I was just talking about making a decision, right? That I felt like there was a decision to be made, and then you have to decide which way to go. So I think you're trying to make a logical and intuitive sense choice towards something in which you're wanting to move towards. It's probably an opportunity that's coming in the form of a blessing. So I don't think it's going to be very high stress. Sorry about the blur. Let's see if we can fix that. There we go. Sometimes it can just get stuck on a certain focus. So there's a blessing coming in the form of an opportunity. Because you have the High Priestess, which is all about your intuitive sense. It also can represent if you're into divination like I am, or if you're interested in those sorts of spiritual sides of yourself, then that's coming in. And you're tapping into that sort of intuitive sense that you have. Usually this is a more feminine intuition, especially since you have embraced your feelings here. I feel like it's a more feminine, divine feminine, intuitive sense. But you also have the King of Swords, which sort of levels it out with that more masculine side, because the King of Swords is very studious. They are not fast in their decision making. They take their time. They look at all the facts. They are honest and truthful and fair in the way that they look at each opportunity that comes in each way, in each step, and in each little fact that comes in, really, of life. They're very level-headed in the way that they communicate as well. And what I'm already seeing too, that I didn't see right away, is you had absence, as well as opportunity, and there is no use looking for luck. It arrives at unexpected times. So I think you're maybe trying to bring forth an opportunity that isn't ready yet, or that isn't something that you can bring forth. It's going to come in its own time, and it's probably going to come from someone or from somewhere that you were least expecting. So it's not something, it might blindside you, it might come out of nowhere, but it is going to be positive in the end. So absence, what is not here is the key. So it's going to come from somewhere more unexpected, somewhere where you weren't really looking, right? Because the King of Swords, like, he looks at every single situation from every single angle. And this is going to be an angle that maybe you weren't expecting. And because of that, it might make your decision a little bit more difficult. You're going to have to use your intuitive sense. You use that gut feeling in you to know where to go. And because it's not an opportunity that you're specifically bringing forth, that you're not, searching it out, if it's like job searching, or if it's like just in general looking for a new project or a new opportunity in some sort of sense like that, where you're communicating with other people, you might be feeling a little bit discouraged, right? So find that way to rekindle that fire inside you. So you might be feeling a little discouraged, and it's sort of showcasing to embrace that feeling, embrace that time that you need to just feel the discouragement, to just take that time to be like, okay, this sucks, have your little pity party, because everybody needs that sometimes. Sometimes we need a little time to just be like upset that a new opportunity isn't coming in, or it's not coming in where you are expecting it. But the blessing's going to come when it blindsides you, and it's going to be like, hey, look at this thing that I have for you, and you're going to really enjoy it and love it. And you might have new decisions to make. You might have to figure out new paths or new ways to look at something, but I think it's ultimately going to be really, really fun and really good for you. Because you also have here the Seven of Cups, and the Seven of Cups represents us being indecisive. You're not really sure where to go. You haven't decided. You have all these different opportunities that are eventually going to present themselves to you, but because it's coming from a new place, a place in which you are not used to or familiar with, you're going to feel a little like it's foreign. It's up in the clouds. It's really far away from you. It's at a completely different perspective, and you have to sort of look away, have that distance, take that time to create a logical and intuitive decision on where you want to go now that it's going to be a new type of opportunity in which you weren't expecting. And using that intuitive feeling, that intuitive sense, is going to really help you create that decision in which you need. Because the Seven of Cups are just, I don't want you to be stuck in that indecisive phase. So you can't just use logic. You have to also use that intuitive spiritual side of yourself to create, not really create the opportunity, but to decide which way you want to go with this new opportunity that you weren't expecting. And in doing so, you're going to be rekindling that fire, that creative element within yourself. So with all of that said, let's go ahead and move on to your charms. Group 3. It's a very interesting group because at first I was like, ooh, exciting opportunity. And it is an exciting opportunity, but you're just going to have to take that time to wait for it to come versus try to seek it out yourself. So let's see what charms you have, Group 3. All right, so any blessings, August blessings, any insights, guidance, or energy coming in for Group 3 in the form of blessings or life lessons. Group 3. The energy, insights, guidance, or opportunities coming in for Group 3. Group 3. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and pick up the ones that fell upside down and sort out some of these charms here so that we can get a better sense on what's happening. Okay. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and move you in Group 3 so you can have a little bit better look at all of the charms here. So you have no letters and no new numbers or anything like that coming in, but you do have here in the center the village charm. I think of this as the village. It takes a village. It takes, that outer perspective, community. So community, family, being around other people in some way. With everything going on globally, please be safe in those ways. But in general, there is a sense of community here, but what I think is interesting is that you've sort of shut yourself off possibly to listening to those around your community. So that can be your inner circle of friends, your actual community is in like a town or a city, or some sort of group community like a coven, or your church or your family in some way, something like that, where you have a community or a close-knit sort of group of people. You've sort of closed yourself off to. You're not fully listening to them or fully listening to any advice or opportunities that are possibly coming in because you have your ears sort of closed off. You're not really listening. You've put your headphones on and you've sort of closed yourself off towards the communication that needs to be said. So that is sort of urging you to be more open to that, especially with the fluffy charm. I think of this as like fluffy, lovely, wonderful energy. It's squishy, it's good, it's nice. So I don't think they're here for ill will. I don't think they're here to talk to you in a bad manner, especially with those that you already feel support from, or that you already feel have been supportive to you in the past. This is a time to open up and listen to them. And this also can just mean also opening up both ways. So if you need help with an opportunity, or if you need help with something, it's also to give back and listen to what they need help with. Listen to their problems, their concerns, the advice that they need from you, a person they trust, a person they feel safe with, someone that they can say all of their feelings and thoughts to, which I think is interesting too, because you had the embrace your feelings, right? And I feel like you kind of closed yourself off to letting other people see those feelings inside you, possibly about that, like you're not really sure where to go, asking them maybe, hey, how should I do this, or asking for advice, or possibly just because you were feeling maybe a little upset that an opportunity hasn't come, or it isn't coming as quickly or as fast as possible, or coming from a specific place that you were expecting. This is the time to embrace your feelings with those people. Embrace the feeling that you have, because they're your safety net. They're your fluff. They're your people that you can rely on and have that support there for. So I definitely see the embracing your feelings coming in there in the center. And who knows, maybe because you open up, that's where that opportunity might even come from. So, just let it be, because it says what is not here is the key. So if that communication is not there, then the key isn't going to open. That opportunity might not come, because here you have that road, right? So it's kind of making me think like it's a path on your way to this new opportunity, and you've sort of blocked yourself out by not communicating, because the King of Swords is a really great communicator, and if that communication doesn't come in, that logic and intuitive sense can't come in either. So that's something to think about, especially since you have the pawn here, which represents a person, I always feel like. And then you also have the find a way to rekindle that fire inside you. And here you have, it's a very dirty birthday candle, but it is a cut off little piece of a birthday candle. So it is something to ignite that fire inside you. And I think that opportunity is going to come through embracing your feelings. And maybe that's not a very logical way about to go about it, because the King of Swords, he thinks logically about every single step. But I think embracing your feelings and in your intuitive sense is what's going to actually bring this opportunity forth, and the blessings that you're looking for. On top of that, though, because there's other things happening on your month, you have here at the new moon, which is all about a new cycle, creating a new space for yourself, and boundaries possibly too. You also have here the binder clip. And I think of this as like you're binding yourself to creating a new start, creating this new opportunity. But it also just can mean that you're like binding yourself to creating some sort of new space for yourself, cleansing yourself, or binding yourself to this new cycle, this new energy of the month. Sometimes we need that restart. And I think this restart of the month is going to be super helpful for you, especially since the new moon falls in the middle of the month. I think it's important that sometimes the month can start, it didn't go the way that we wanted. You have that disappointment possibly coming in that I was talking about, and you're finally getting to bind yourself to this new opportunity that comes in, possibly after the new moon. So that's something to look forward to, possibly in timing. But also on the moon cycle, you have here at the waning side of the moon, just after the full moon at the beginning of the month, you have the sort of materialistic heart, or the string of pearls sort of heart here, along with the pearl charm. So there is a financial sense of some sort of love and clarity coming in around that moon. So this can be about a relationship, maybe a more materialistic relationship, a relationship maybe more business minded, that's coming in and being cleared up, because the pearl charm I think of as clarity, elegance, decadence, those sorts of things. And lastly here you have the dark matter charm, which is a really big charm, but it surprisingly doesn't pop up as often, but I think of this as dark matter. So it doesn't necessarily mean like dark matters and like dark horrible things happening. It's more so like dark matter in terms of something uncertain, unknown. We don't know a lot about dark matter in the universe. It is something that strings the universe together. It's things that happen in the background, but it isn't something that we can measure very easily or see very easily. So there are strings and things happening in the background that are working in your favor for this new opportunity. Like I was talking about, this isn't an opportunity that's going to come from a place you're going to be able to clearly see. It's going to come from somewhere you weren't expecting. You also have here the open. You're opening yourself up to change, opening yourself up to transformation, because here you have the butterfly clip, which usually is closed, but every once in a while it pops open, which represents you being open to change, being open to new transformational energies coming in. But I think it's going to take a minute, and I think it's through embracing those feelings that it's going to create the opportunity to change, the opportunity to trust these happenings that are happening in the background that you aren't able to control. Because right next to the openness to change, you also have the worry stone, and it's the emotional stone, because I think of this as like water, or getting out to water. So a great way to embrace your feelings too is not only just embracing them to your community, but also embracing them to yourself in those quiet serenity moments, those moments where you go out to the ocean, or take a moment in the bath or in the shower, those shower thoughts, those sorts of things. That's where that worry or that anxiety might come in those quiet moments. But if you open yourself up to the change, to the universe sort of working in the background, those strings of dark matter, those things in which we cannot measure more logically, but we can intuitively sense, that's when you're going to be able to enjoy that opportunity that comes in, that's on its way. You know, what is not here in the absence is the key. So again, more of that taking that time out could be really helpful for you to create that change. So with all of that said, let's go ahead and I'll let you guys look at the charms as I recap here for you. So there is an opportunity that's coming in, but it's not going to be in the way that you expected, and that might create your feelings to be a little overridden with like not feeling very you're feeling maybe discouraged, basically. And if you open yourself up to your community, if you open yourself up to change and to the universe working in the background, that's when you're going to be able to embrace these feelings of worry or anxiety about this opportunity possibly not coming in yet. That's when those energies and that support and rekindling of that fire inside you, that inspired energy, that muse inside you, that's when that's going to be able to come in, and you're going to be able to bind yourself to this new opportunity once you've decided on it. But you have to decide which way you want to go with it, because this opportunity may come in, but it might also leave you with more opportunities than you were expecting, because you have the Seven of Cups, so you have lots of different choices that you can make and take. But with perspective, taking that perspective to really, look at each of these cups, at each of these opportunities, and not only a logical way, but also an intuitive, more emotional way, you'll be able to make the correct decision for yourself. This is not a bad opportunity. It's going to be a great opportunity for you. It's just taking that time to let it come in its own time, because there's people there for you to listen to your feelings about that discouragement. But if you open yourself up to that change, that is when the opportunity will come in. So basically, yeah, it's just waiting out this opportunity. That's going to be your amazing blessing coming in, and I'm excited to see what this opportunity is. Feel free to check in later in the month to let me know in the comments down below. But if you already have ideas, or in general, if you feel like different charms here are resonating with you, if the embrace your feelings, deciding which way to go, any of these different cards are resonating with you, I'd love to have a conversation, or just drop a comment down below. I'd love to have that sort of dialogue with you guys. I'd love to see what you guys think of the different charms and how everything worked out for this reading. It really does interest me to know how it all sort of worked out for you on a more personal level or specific level. Also, if you did like this reading, feel free to like the video. It also lets me know that you, not only lets me know that you liked this reading, but it also does help support this channel and let me know that you enjoy these types of monthly readings. If you're new to this channel and you are interested in my type of content, I do Monday readings every single Monday, as well as other magical creative content, and these monthly readings every single month. So if you're interested in any of that, feel free to subscribe. I'd love to have you guys join this Bits and Bobs Kindred Spirit community. And with all of that said, I hope you guys have a wonderful month. I hope this opportunity that comes in will be so wonderful for you and all these blessings. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.